Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to our channel. I am Twinkle Quatra from IME Law College and currently a legal intern at Lexis and Company. And today, the topic that I am going to start is free speech under cyberspace. We all know that cyberspace has been increasing day by day, and because of the cyberspace, the cyber attacks, the cyber terrorism is increasing. And I have made the separate video on cyber terrorism. Do watch that video to understand the topic in a better way. So, Article 19 of Universal Declaration of Human Rights calls for the prevention of free speech in all the media, because in the traditional form, when interwars was not that famous or not everyone has the access of internet, these spaces were not misused, right? But now, when the internet is available to all of us, every individual has the potential to reach to the millions of people without any cost, or it is a minimal cost, right? So because of this, the free speech has been violated or is in danger. Declaration, that is the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, under Article 19, it tells about the prevention of free speech. Now let's just discuss the right to speech and expression on the internet. So the development of technology in the communication industry over the last decade has witnessed the emergence of several relatively new legal and ethical issues, because this development of technology under communication has built up, and because of this, the people are misusing these technologies, and communication, speech and expression constitute some of the most basic liberties of an individual. In the Indian context, under Section 19, subsection 1A of Constitution recognize them as a freedom of right and speech. Now let's just discuss that how do internet activities causes threat to national security. So the main reason is encryption and cryptography. These are the two modes of communication that poses threat to national integrity. Now let's just discuss what is encryption and what is cryptography. So encryption is the process in which some information is given to another person with the code, and only the person who is sending, that is a sender, and the person who is receiving, that is a recipient, knows the code. And the field of cryptography is the study of the encryption. It means that cryptography helps us to decode that code that is sent by the sender, and the practice of encryption and its studies cryptography provides individual with the means of communication that no third party can understand. But if these two communicators tells the third party, then only the third party will understand. Rather than that, the third party is unknown about the fact. And such technology that is of encryption and cryptography is, however, is liable to misuse by the individual to carry their functions and determine national security. The volume and varying nature of the transaction also raise the issue of security concerns under political, social and economic health of the nation. So this cryptography, if used to code messages containing vital information about the government or military, it is very dangerous to use. So these were the two main reasons why the prevention of free speech was needed. Now, technology is a double-edged sword. Once, on the one hand, it tells us that we can save our, privacy, and but the other hand, technology is the main cause why the privacy of the individuals are being violated. And the other offenses like computer hacking is also one of the main reason, because the hacking is done without the implied or express expression or the permission of the owner of the computer. And by hacking, these people hacks all the data, hacks all the vital information, and this hacking becomes more dangerous to national security when the hacking is done of the government or any military department. Now let's just talk about legislative measures that are there to protect the national security. First is under Article 19 subsection 2 of the Constitution. It imposes reasonable restriction or the ground of threat to sovereignty of nation, but there must be a balance establishing rights and duties. And second is under section 69 of IT Act 2000, the controller of certified authority has power to encrypt any information from the computer if it is a threat to the integrity of sovereignty of nation. It means a certified authority has the right to encrypt the information, and rather than that, no other security or no other agency have that right. So that's it for today's video. I hope you liked it, and also keep liking, keep sharing, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching.